Hi, sixth grade, Miss Keeley here. This week we are going to be starting a new project. This one is going to be all about perspective in space and working on something called a 1-point perspective drawing. It's going to be your name or a name that will fit nicely on the paper for you that works out. But so to start, you are going to need a piece of white paper or just a piece of white paper. If you happen to have a ruler, awesome. I have like a really tiny ruler, so I end up using a watercolor paint because it has a straight edge. So just you're gonna need something with like a straight edge because you want to have a nice ruler, and you'll need a pencil. And so what you're gonna do first is you're going to take that ruler or whatever you came up with that has a nice straight edge to it. Oh, hold on. Try this again. Um, And so you are first going to start by drawing a straight line, kind of maybe like 2 inches or an inch up from the bottom. You don't want it exactly at the bottom of your paper, but you don't want it too high up. And so I'm just trying to draw a nice straight line all the way across. And it can be like a faint line. It doesn't need to be super dark, so it's gonna probably end up getting erased anyways. And then just space it out a little bit. I drew it that far apart and then I erased it because I thought it was too close together. And so then I just widened it a little bit. And so you just want these two kind of parallel lines next to each other. Okay. And so then you are going to start to draw your name. If you have a really long name and you can shorten it somehow, go for it. If you have a nickname that is appropriate and that people actually call you, you can do that. You could use your middle name, your last name, just something that will fit nicely on the paper in this space, okay? I'm gonna attach kind of like a how to draw block letters, but you want to just write your name out and space it so it's kind of even, not too big, not too small, and it's fitting all the way up from the top line all the way to the bottom line. And they're pretty much spaced out the same and about the same size, okay? Um, and so you want to make sure that you're making them like block, okay? Because it's all going to help us with our 1-point perspective drawing. So I'm going to fast forward this because it's just me drawing out my name. Okay. And then you are going to add a little point somewhere at the top of your paper. It could be in the middle, it could be to the side, but you want it to be somewhere up top, because you are going to start to draw lines going to that point. And so my ruler was not big enough, so I ended up grabbing my watercolor palette as a straight line. And so what you're going to be doing is, I'm going to kind of pause it here for a second. I'm going to wait for this little name thing to go away. I don't know if it will, but anyways. So you are going to be taking your pencil, and you are going to be drawing straight lines from every little corner of your name. And by corner, I mean like little end point. So like up top, the top of my K has these 4 points. So I guess you will just see how it is when I draw it out. And so I'm just lightly kind of drawing it to that point, moving it over to the second point, drawing a line, still connecting up to that top point. And I'm just continuing that all along. And once I move my ruler, you're able to see a little bit more of what it's looking like. And so basically we're just like making this it look 3D, like it's kind of gathering back into this space. And then you're also going to want to do some of your bottom points, which can be a little bit tricky and confusing as to what you should actually be drawing a line like. Technically this little point on my K, I'm thinking if I were to have drawn a line, it would have been blocked anyway, so I'm not going to do one there. I could potentially do one from this point. Definitely I could do one from this bottom point. I think this point would be blocked by my letter. So you're going to continue to draw lines from different points, and the main thing to kind of be aware of is that you're never really drawing a line through a letter. So this E right here, I'm going to pick up my pencil and go over it because it shouldn't really be blocked. okay? And so yeah, so wherever you can see that there's like a point that would help you get a straight line all the way to that point, then you're gonna draw it, okay? I'm gonna just kind of speed it up a little bit. This bottom one down here that I'm gonna do is only gonna go a little bit because it will be blocked by everything else. And so that is my first letter. And some of the lines, like I don't think that I necessarily needed, but it helps to form this like 3D perspective of my name kind of fading into the back, okay? So you're just gonna repeat that with all of your letters, and I probably could erase this line right here going back. Um, oh, wow, I actually do. um, and so I'm just gonna keep fast forwarding this. Hopefully this is somewhat easy for you guys to see and understand. I am trying to explain it as best as I can. Um, but just always make sure that your letter is not having a line being drawn through it. You're always picking up your pencil if you need to. But this top area also should be kind of like a flat space where no lines are going through it either. My best advice is just kind of play around with it, draw lightly in case you draw something and it doesn't really look the right way. You can always erase it. And so I'm just going to continue to do all my points from my letters all the way back to that point. And you'll notice that some of your letters, as you get more like straight on to the point, it's going to be like less of you having to draw connected lines. So for instance, like this E, I'm going to draw my lines here, but it's really only going to show a little bit because it's being blocked because it's a straight on perspective. And even here kind of looks a little bit odd to me. I think I could possibly be doing something wrong. I couldn't really figure it out, but just kind of keep going with it even if you don't think yours looks the right way. Um, and so you can see here now I'm shifting everything going in the other direction because of everything is still being connected back to that point. All right. And so I'm going to kind of fast forward this a little bit because it's pretty much the same thing I've been doing. And this is a really tricky project, so feel free to reach out to me if you are having a hard time with how yours should be looking, and I will try my best to kind of virtually explain it to you a little bit better than I am now. But so at the end, it should look kind of something like roughly like this, where it looks like all of your letters are kind of fading into this one point really far away, okay? This is going to be it for this week because it's going to be a challenge to kind of figure out figure out how everything should be lined up, and it could be challenging to just write your name in block letters. So hopefully what I send to you guys is helpful for you. If not, you can always like YouTube different things about this. Like if you were to search like 1 point perspective or how to draw bubble letters, there's a ton of different resources out there that can help you guys. But I'm going to try to attach things that I think will work best. Okay. This is just step one, so you don't need to attach a picture necessarily. But if you are having a hard time and you want suggestions, obviously send me a picture and let me see, and I will chat with you guys next week. All right, bye.